Hello there, welcome back to the channel where we talk about stuff happening in the Vtuber world, and today we take a look at Spite, the Cerberus Vtuber who was mentioned in the nanoless document. Apparently, Spite believed that when Sinder's manager was insulting a Cerberus Vtuber, they were clearly referring to her. And so let's take a look at her own story. She has put out a Google document talking about her experiences with Sinder. Spite apparently accuses Sinder of being a copycat who steals her designs. Let's take a look. Spite begins by saying, I want to start by saying please do not send any hate to anyone involved in this. I only wish to speak about my experiences and give more clarity on those experiences. First and foremost, my love and admiration goes out to Nanoless, the Vtuber artist right here, for having the courage to bring this to light. Artists are the backbone of our community, and taking advantage of her goodwill personality is saddening to see. Spite continues saying, I want to take the time to address what has been brought to light involving myself and what I've experienced over the years that coincide with these events. In this screenshot of the Vtuber that is being talked about, it is very clearly me, referring to Spite herself. Since the beginning of my Vtuber journey, it has been written in my backstory and lore that I'm the daughter of Cerberus, and through an unforeseen summoning mishap, the Greek goddess Hecate. As many may know, Cerberus is a species of hellhound, and I've always incorporated the number 3 in my designs to follow the 3 heads of Cerberus, especially in my early design and when artists were still learning new model/rigging techniques, and I had opted for 2 other wolf heads on my shoulders as pauldrons to symbolically represent my other 2 heads. However, the repeated comments of, if you're a Cerberus, where are your other 2 heads, had pushed me to use the broader term hellhound at the time. Fast forward 2 months to a year into my journey, and I started to receive harassment and berating comments and chat messages on Twitch and YouTube videos comparing me to Sinder and putting me down for being a hellhound. Making the definitive switch to the Cerberus label brought me a sense of relief, because the last thing I wanted was to be constantly compared or harassed at this point. I didn't want to be associated with her due to all the negativity that was being thrown my way. And now you can see a Discord screenshot where Redacted is accusing Spite the Cerberus Vtuber of stealing Sinder's ideas. Redacted begins by saying then, like a month later, unfollowed her on Twitter and started taking her ideas, Sinder's ideas, like the flames, and now she's basically rebranded to more of a fire Cerberus, using fire emojis all the time. Never did that before. It's funny because she used to call herself a hellhound, but stopped when Sinder grew past her, and now uses Cerberus or Cerber, up or whatever the law says she is, I don't know. Nanoless responds saying, the unfollow was weird. Redacted response saying, yeah, so it's fine. It's like, there was also unprovoked tweets from her like, I didn't copy anyone else for my design is all me, this is who I am, like huh, who are you saying that to? Oh lol. On random Sinder clips on YouTube, there was one dedicated fan or someone else she knew, I don't know, that would comment on these clips, saying like, when are you going to clip this person? Only on Sinder clips. Spite continues to explain, saying, as for the claims of unfollowing her and taking her ideas, I debuted my 2.0 Live 2D model on May 14, 2022. And on the same day, she, referring to Sinder, decided to post her debut announcement for her 1.0 Live 2D model. Leading up to this time, I didn't know who Sinder was at all. I had no idea she had fire in her ears or she was another hellhound. The creator space is broad, and I still stumble across creators larger than myself that I had not heard of before. I never once stole her ideas. All I ever wanted was to try to be unique in my own way. So these claims that I was following her and then unfollowing and stealing her ideas are absolutely baseless and uncalled for. Spite provides proof of her statements with a few Twitter posts from May 3rd, 2022 saying, attention, now that my account isn't restricted, I can repost this. I'm dragging you down to the underworld on May 14th for my new model reveal debut. And this was on May 14th, 2022, and then later on, Sinder would tease a model on her Twitter account saying June. This means Redacted's words that claim that Spite stole Sinder's design was wrong, because Sinder clearly only started teasing her hellhound design after Spite had already announced her model reveal debut, which was on May 14th, and on the same day, May 14, 2022, Sinder had only just started to tease a model instead of having a full-on model debut. So Spite had the debut first, but there's no way she could have stolen from Sinder, if that makes sense. The Vtuber Spite would also come to the same conclusion, saying, her posting her debut announcement trailer the same day as my 2.0 debut seemed off, but I shrugged it off as a coincidence because things happen. However, this wasn't the last time something like this had happened. There have been multiple times where I've done something and either the same day or shortly after, I was made aware or had discovered later that something similar had been posted, making me feel like I was being watched constantly. I wonder who was watching. Byte continues by saying, I tried my best to believe it was coincidental and not an ill intent on their part. There were many times when I designed a new outfit that I really was excited for, but afterwards, Sinder would release outfits or models with similarities to it. I didn't think much of it at first because it was normal to have some similarities, or maybe it shared inspirations with other creators. The VTubing community is a huge space and similarities are normal. I'm not speaking to whether my designs were taken as direct references for hers. I'm addressing the need for the unprovoked tweets mentioned in the screenshot above, showing that I made the statements to make it clear that I was not stealing ideas. How can I copy something that was released, teased, revealed after my own? Byte continues, on July 20th, 2022, Mayu Live, my model mama, and I worked on a comfy goth girl outfit. I had rips in my t-shirt, a G-string, shorts, and spiked wrist cuffs. 2 weeks after Sinder debuted a similar outfit, I included the earliest image that I could find of Sinder with this outfit. I received many negative comments about my design from people assuming that I copied her. When I debuted it 2 weeks before hers, I got called off-brand Sinder and just a bunch of horrible things. And this is basically the proof. Hold on, let me just have a look. So this was July 20th, 2022. This is the new outfit with like rips and tears in the clothing and it looks scarf. And then on September 14, 2022, Sinder would tease her new outfit, which was similar. It was goth, it was short pants with tank top, with rips in the clothing. Seems legit. Turns out like Spite wasn't copying anyone. It looks like Sinder was the one doing the copying instead. Or maybe it was a complete coincidence. Who knows at this point? Byte continues, saying I discovered this merchandise that Cinder used for Uwu Market and had to do a double take because of the grey-blue skin tone used in the art. Several people thought it was me, and the similarities for this speak for themselves, I feel. And this is basically like Cinder's alternative form, I guess. It looks really similar to like Spite's color scheme, but you can tell it's somehow different. I guess because of the color palette, it looks very similar, and that looks really bad on Cinder's part. On April 29th, 2024, Spite designed a Greek goddess outfit on stream. Spite continues saying, I'm a Cerberus VTuber, so it fits my lore completely. I mentioned that I may or may not get a future Greek goddess outfit because it fits my branding. About 4 months ago, Sinder debuted a Heaven Okami-inspired outfit that was white and gold, resembling a Greek goddess. In the background for debut, she also included Greek columns. At this point, I felt like nothing I could come up with would be even slightly original to me. I'm aware that nothing is completely original, but I still wanted my own identity. So this is basically Spite's Greek goddess design, and then this is Cinder's Greek goddess design. They kind of look similar, yeah, they do look similar. It's basically white and gold on like Spite's body, and then it's white and gold on Cinder's body. It looks very similar, not gonna lie, very similar. Spite continues to speak, saying on April 20th, 2024, I debuted a new model from my model mama REVT. I got a hoodie with a cute design on top and I had side bangs covering my eyes. On April 4th, 2025, Sinder debuted a sports hoodie with side bangs covering her eyes, similar to mine. Okay, let's take a look. This is Spite's model from last year, April 2024, and this is basically on the right Cinder's hoodie model on April 2025, 1 year after Spite had hers. Does it not look the same? Yes, it does. Is Spite copying Sinder? No. Is Sinder copying Spite? Maybe. Looks like it. I mean, April 20th, 2024, Spite has a hoodie outfit, and then April 4th, 2025, Sinder has a hoodie outfit. Curious. Spite continues, there are some instances that I do not have screenshots of. For example, I remember posting about my first ASMR stream. The day that I was supposed to do said stream, Sinder plugged her ASMR channel. I thought it was a bit suspect, but brushed it off. I didn't have screenshots of the comments and bullying that I received from her community. There were too many that it became too much to keep track of, and I just started ignoring them because I never wanted to save images of their words that hurt me. I didn't even want to read the harassing comments in the first place. I just wanted to be left alone and be happy in my own space. Spite would say, I received a DM on January 25th, 2023. I will not disclose who the sender was without their consent. The sender expressed to me that they were getting bullied by Sinder and certain members of Sinder's community because she too had fire in her ears. I never responded to the DM because I wanted to stay away from drama as much as possible. Oh my god. So Sinder isn't just like harassing Spite, she's also harassing other VTubers who look similar to her. This is getting worse and worse and worse. Do you think Sinder ever believed that she would get caught one day? I don't think so, because, well, here we are, talking about what she did. Anyway, let's take a look at the DMs. Obviously, we can't even take a look at the profile picture of the person who sent this. And she's saying, hey, you popped up in my feed and can I just say, I love your design. I have a rather odd question, I suppose. Have you had any messages from the VTuber Sinder regarding your design? This may seem out of nowhere, but I only ask because I had made an OC like a while back. And I was accused by her and others of stealing her design because my dog girl had flames in her ears, and her fans claimed that it was exclusive to her design. It was this whole big ordeal on Twitter, so I wondered if anything similar had happened to you yet. Okay, this is interesting. If it was a big ordeal on Twitter, then it would be easy to find who this mysterious person is. Yeah, we just have to find a dog girl with flames in her ears. This mysterious person continues to speak, saying, I would like to clarify I myself am not saying your design looks like hers. I was scrolling, saw your totally awesome design. When I saw the flames near / in the ears, I had flashbacks and thought to myself, oh no, I guess this is just my curiosity getting the best of me. This was in January 2023. Interesting. We are nearing the end of the Google document. And Spite is saying, I'm just very saddened and disappointed in this situation. I had my suspicions about this, but I never wanted to be a part of drama, so I kept quiet. I've also seen what happens when a creator stands up for themselves and receives a major backlash, even if they're in the right, so I've never vocalized my concerns. Fair enough. I've always designed my own models. I've gotten inspiration from Cerberus, with the chains and spikes, Disney's Hades, and because I call myself a goth GF. I was inspired by Sam and Amber from Danny Phantom plus many other of our goth crushes that we've had growing up. I just focused on myself and my friends. Meanwhile, I had eyes on me the whole time. Knowing that I was being watched and talked poorly about really hurts, especially when they've never attempted to interact with me. I did my best to go through and find what I could and get appropriate screenshots. It's crazy because I didn't know who Sinder was until she debuted her live 2D. I just wanted to exist peacefully as a VTuber and spend my time drama-free. I woke up this morning in shock. It's terrifying and hurtful to know that someone could attempt to blacklist me when I've never even spoken to them. I hope going forward that no one else has to experience anything like this. Thank you guys for being supportive towards me. I love this community so much. Please go and give love and support to all of those who have unfortunately been involved in this situation. Please support Nanoless, who was brave enough to speak up, and the VTubers who were affected. Please support my first model mama, the wonderful Mayu Live, and also my most recent model mama, the wholesome Ari VT. Thank you for taking the time to read this. So let's just summarize here. Spite is basically saying she didn't steal like Sinder's design. It was Sinder who tried copying Spite's design, and Sinder was so butthurt by other VTubers who had similar designs to hers that she straight up harassed them through DMs and on Discord. I've never seen someone so insecure about their model before. Like, I get that in the VTuber community, VTubers are especially sensitive when their models look similar to someone else, but still, like, this is next level sensitive. He's blacklisting people from artists. He's DMing them, confronting them about their similar VTuber models because of just the fire in their ears. Feels like she's very obsessive. I think it's still very messed up that Sinder tried like messing with Spite even though they never interacted. And it's a cautionary tale that even if you don't know someone in the VTuber community, they might know you and that they might try to hurt you. And that sounds messed up, but now we know it's true. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Thank you for coming, thank you for watching. This is Terry Nebula signing out.